No, it wasn't in the script. I took one look at that baby and I said, put that thing on my tit, man. That was, I said, I pitched it.
You know, all we did was tell one lie.
Hundreds and hundreds of times over many, many years.
We really do have a safe environment to take big swings.
What if we hire an actor to play Stanicky?
Great, not gonna work.
Building chemistry with Zac is very easy. Obviously, he's gorgeous.
When you get out of surgery, right?
You should drive out there. Ricky's been there for you guys your whole lives.
The devil's in the details, my friend.
It worked.
Atlantic City, here we come.
No set beefs. No set beefs.
No.
No diva. There was one diva.
Well, I'll tell you the truth.
Every time he tries to make a point, it's like he's smoking invisible dogs.
Dear God, it's true.
He had some ideas, I had some ideas. I practiced air dicking for a month.
To support.
Now it looks like I'm cupping the balls.
Oh, God, there was
effing
one diva.
Yeah,
Ugh.
not a fan.
Not a fan.
But we were good.
We
me
were
and
fine.
me and Andrew were perfect.
We were perfect.
I love that you've had a really interesting, good year here, Iron Claw and this. What was it like working with Peter and kind of going back to your comedy roots? You're really funny.
It's so fun, man. It's great working with Pete. Anything Peter does, it's generally it's a comedy, but it feels very honest. He's always searching for the truth in it, and I think there's always something very redeeming, at the same time funny about all of the characters that Pete makes his stories about. So it was really fun to, especially after the Iron Claw, to come back and really just hang with the boys and have fun with Pete. It was really nice.
What we got?
Ricky's cancer's back.
Why does it have to be cancer? Won't everybody get worried?
Yeah, and that's gonna take us right into the World Series.
I love the fact that they made a character that is gay in one of these films, because usually that's not that way, and it's treated as part of the story, as part of the character. That's such a nice change of pace. What was that like for you, kind of stepping into that?
Well, when I read the script, I loved that the character's sexual preference wasn't a part of the joke. He was treated like a normal person, a regular person. He was one of the boys. He's a friend, no matter what. It wasn't like some token gay black dude, you know what I'm saying? It was just a dude, and that's what I gravitated to. I spoke to Peter on the phone about it, and we all just were on the same page about how to portray this character. So that was, it was great, man. It was great. I thoroughly enjoyed watching, playing Wes as this kind of troubled, truth seeker, so to speak.
My baby's gonna be born 6 weeks early.
I was born 6 weeks early.
Oh,
John, any plans on taking Rock Hard Rod on the road? Because I think a lot of people would want to see that.
I've been living the gypsy life for about 20 years. I think that chapter's winding down for me, but never say never.
I mean, dude, this was really funny stuff. I've always thought you were just ever since that Trainwreck, I think, just so funny. How did you get involved in it? I mean, you go for it with this guy.
Well, thank you for those comments, because I guess that's all that you try to do. You try to give all you have, and then let as many people know to go see the movie as you can. When I look back at this, I can honestly say that I didn't leave anything on the bench. I put it all on the field. So
All on the field, right.
I think it's also surrounding yourself with funny people, and that helps. I don't know if the movie is that funny without our entire cast, and certainly without our director and without our story. So I appreciate your comments, because I want to try to give everything to every opportunity I get, and to hear you say that, it warms my heart. But it sounds so sports cliche, but we are only as strong as our team, and our team was very good on this one.
Well put. That's right.
I want to know where the hell you guys were tonight. We called every hospital and there was no record of a Ricky Stanicky.
No, it wasn't in the script. I took one look at that baby and I said, put that thing on my tit, man. That was, I said, I pitched it. No, that was in the script. They wanted skin-to-skin contact. I think it was an article that someone had read that the father must have skin-to-skin contact. And then the rest is comedic history, I hope. So that wasn't me, that was them, but it was super fun. Easy to do, because it was,
I think one of the really fascinating and fun parts about working with Pete Farrelly is he always keeps it on track. So if you have a great improv that fits into the story and is honest and tells, it's in service of the characters and where the story's headed, and it's in the tone of the film, then it stays in, and the rest gets cut out. We really do have a safe environment to take big swings.
Rock Hard Rod, X-rated rock and roll impersonator.
I do a whole act, wall to wall, top to bottom, jizz jams. Thanks for coming out tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So horny to be here. It can be funny in the moment, but if it's only funny in the moment and it ruins the story, then you just get a laugh track joke and it doesn't pay off. I think it's very important, and to everyone's credit, Jeff Ross included, everyone understood the whole story. Mm-hmm. And although they added jokes on the day, they also were very humble when people's like, great, not gonna work. We need this. Right. Because this pays off here, remember? And everyone would say, yes, okay, great.
And that's the fun part about, making this movie is that you're always, the goal is to make a great film, and it can be funny, it can be dramatic, but there's gotta be proper motivation and truth in all the performances, and that's what Pete does so well. So it's got everything, man. I'm excited for people to check out the film.
This is a really bad idea.
Oh, Jesus. I've been cold turkey in the booze. Ricky Stanicky's in the program, remember?
Oh, Rod.
It's not what you think it is. It's just piss.
I'm watching this movie and I'm seeing the boys club. You really hold your own here. What was it like being a part of this world and working with these guys?
So much fun. I had a blast. I loved being in the orbit of Peter Farrelly. We've worked together before, and then being able to share the screen with Zac and with John Cena. It was a lot of fun. Never a dull moment. Even our bloopers are hilarious. We had a great time with this film.
This is Ted Summerhays, my boss.
Ted, nice to meet you. Digging the suit and the seedlings, man.
The seedlings.
The hair plugs, they're new, right?
This is my hair. We're gonna lose our jobs.
Dude, you've given so many amazing performances.
Thank you.
What was it for you to kind of step into working with Peter and finding this guy?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I thought it was so outrageous. And I thought, how can you pull this off? Yeah. He had some ideas, I had some ideas. I practiced air dicking for a month before I got there. When I read the script, I laughed out loud and I was moved by the end. I thought it had a really lovely ending. Loved the characters. I think everyone, if you read a script quickly and you see the movie, it's easy to know which one to do.
No, that was all in the script, but also John was like 100% committed. He wanted to do this badly, and I didn't have to talk him into anything. He was like more than game. But I agree with you. When I saw Peacemaker, and I'm not a huge, comic book type thing, Marvel type thing, but someone told me, they said, you should watch Peacemaker. This guy is too funny. And I remember watching 2 or 3 episodes thinking, this is the funniest big man I've ever seen in my life. He is so funny he's like a small guy in a big body, his sense of humor. And I wanted him badly in this thing, but no, he committed. He wanted to do it, and I didn't have to talk him into much.
I was really taken with your friend Stanicky. He's got brass balls on him, that guy. That's why I hired him.
That's awesome. You just said, what did you say? Just say it one more time.
He knows his comedy so well, down to the timing. If there was something where we weren't nailing it timing-wise to really get that joke, to really nail that button, he would come in and honestly kind of perform it and give you an example of exactly like how he hears it and how he sees it. And we all trust him so much that we're kind of like, yeah, that was great. Okay, let me try to do it like that, because he takes the comedic timing in general. I think is really difficult. It's a hard skill to nail, and I come from dramatic acting, so this was my first time really having, being a part of a comedy, and I learned so much from him and really trusted his guidance and the guidance of our stars. I think Andrew Santino. He's quick, he's on his feet, he comes from stand-up. And so learning from him, even Jermaine Fowler, learning from them, these are stand-up guys, and being able to improv with them and just feeling how it works in the world of comedy. I learned so much on this project.
Peter has been a part of obviously some of the greatest comedies made in the last few decades. What was it like working with him and kind of finding his element and finding what, the kind of truth in the gross out humor, as it were? Andrew?
I mean, it was easy. Pete's been somebody that I've looked up to since I was a Ute, sitting in my mom's basement, watching Dumb and Dumber on VHS. Like, I have a strong history with what he made, so my connection is different than than other directors I've worked with. I mean, I was actually a huge fan, and it was incredible, man. I don't know how to say it accurately, but working with Pete was a dream come true in a way. That little 15-year-old me would be like, holy shit, you're working with the guy that did Dumb and Dumber. And his comedy is just as good now as it was then. His chops are the same, if not elevated. I mean, he's just smarter now than he was. The comedy choices are just as fun and unique. So he's in the comedy world, he's aging very, very well, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's extremely giving. When you need context for your character, he'll help you find it. He's really good with pitches, and the one thing he's on is just story. He's obsessed with story, and as an actor who's obsessed with story, like it's refreshing, especially in a comedy. So I know it's a comedy, but like the story is so important, and I think that's why this one feels so big to people. They're responding so well to it. I think that's why people love it so much. Is because of that. It's all Peter. No set beefs. No diva. There was one diva.
Oh God, there was one diva.
Yeah, not a fan.
Not a fan.
But we were good. Me and Andrew were perfect.
We were perfectly fine.
We love Chinese food. Ate a lot of Chinese food in Australia. A lot of Chinese food in Australia, by the way.
A lot of Asian. Like there was Thai, there was Filipino, there was a lot of fusion. Vietnamese food. We got a lot of different kinds of Asian fusion. We were also halfway around the world, so it was nice to be able to bond and not sit in our hotel room alone. So that also helped the chemistry. It wasn't deliberate, but I think it worked for the film.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny too, and I've followed your career a little bit, and I've seen some of your work, obviously, and you've been a part of The Purge, so you do horror movies as well. Yeah. Do you find a kind of a balance between doing horror and comedy such as this?
The funny thing is, I had too much fun on The Purge. Purge for me was comedy because it's like trying to learn how to be scared when it's not. It's kind of silly, like it's kind of funny and you're kind of laughing at yourself a little bit. And so it's interesting how that actually happened. But to balance it out, it's kind of the same. I think my personal style is trying to live truthfully within the circumstances as much as possible, whether it's horror, drama, or comedy. Erin's character in Ricky Stanicky, she was the anchor, I think, for the actual story itself and what was happening. And all I had to do was just exist in that and just be this supportive girlfriend who wanted the best for her mate, who wanted the best for his friend because, Dean cared so much about Ricky. I'm just existing in that reality. And as Erin is learning and picking up on things and cues that something's not lining up, again, just existing in that reality of trying to figure out why something is off here. And eventually she kind of cracks the case before Dean is even aware that she knows what's really going on.
You and Zac have a nice little chemistry going on. What was it like to build that kind of relationship with him?
Oh, building chemistry with Zac is very easy. Obviously he's gorgeous, but beyond that, he's a fantastic person. We had such a great time. From the minute we got to know each other, we kind of just dove into talking about life and talking about acting and different experiences from other sets and family dynamics. We had such a great time. We really, really became friends. And even still, we keep in touch and we check in on each other all the time. Even if we have like an event going on, we'll text like, hey, are you going to that thing? Like, yeah, I'm going to be there. Okay, see you there. We really built an awesome camaraderie with him, but also all the guys. Andrew, we keep in touch. I saw his stand up. Jermaine and I keep in touch. Anya and I even keep in touch. Even she's in Canada, and we adore each other. So a great camaraderie was built on this set for sure.
Peter, I want to start with you because you've made these movies that have a really strong balance between over-the-top, grossed-out humor, but characters you can kind of give a shit about. People you want to invest in. What brought you to this story and about these three guys making up Ricky?
Someone sent it to me about 15 years ago. There was a kind of a rough draft of what it became, and I love the concept of what happens when your lies come to life, when you've made up these lies and all of a sudden you got to live with them, and how do you balance them, and then why do you lie? There were a lot of reasons. But by the way, what you said in the beginning, I remember one of my favorite movies of all time is Airplane, and I love the Zucker brothers. But I remember thinking, what if you really cared about the people on that plane? Gave a shit. Mm-hmm. It was so broad. And by the way, that was their style, and that killed. It's arguably the best comedy of all time. But it occurred to me when I started doing it, I thought, what if there's a little more you care about these people? It might elevate the comedy. That was my hope.
I've always chafed at this. I'll say, what's this joke here? This is, and they say, but it's funny. And I go, yeah, but it's not true. Being funny is not the goal. You have to hold yourself to telling a true story that has something to do with what it means to be human and be funny.
In my life, my career, I've been lucky where I look back and I can't imagine anybody else in that role, and yet they probably weren't the first person. Starting again with, I keep bringing up Dumb and Dumber, but Jim Carrey was the 150th guy we offered that movie to. Everybody passed. Every studio passed, and then Jim comes along. I'm like, can you imagine? There were so many people that nope, and then you get the right one. So I always say, just leave it up to the universe. They might be.
Boy, if you get it wrong, though, you're dead.
Yeah.